Have you ever had one of those days where your mind just won't shut off? It's constantly spinning with worries, to-do lists, maybe even things you regret. Well, today we're going to explore a really powerful 2,500-year-old tool that's designed to work with exactly that. So let's dive into a practical guide to Vipassana meditation.
This feeling is so incredibly common. That sense of being completely trapped inside your own head. I've been there. For me, it was this constant loop of anxiety about what was coming next and replaying mistakes I'd already made. It was absolutely exhausting. But this practice, it offered a way to find some stillness. Not by fighting all that noise, but by learning to see it in a totally different way.
So what is this practice that can create such a huge shift? Let's get into what Vipassana really is, because honestly, it's probably very different from what you might picture when you hear the word meditation. Okay, so the name itself, Vipassana, comes from this ancient language, Pali, and it literally just means to see clearly. This isn't about chanting or visualizing some peaceful scene or trying to have some kind of mystical experience. Nope, it's simply a method of self-observation. It's all about paying attention to your own reality, right here, right now, moment by moment.
And this right here, this busts one of the biggest myths about meditation. So many of us think we're supposed to force our minds to go blank, which, let's be honest, is basically impossible and just makes us feel frustrated. Vipassana teaches the complete opposite. Just watch what's already there. The goal isn't to stop your thoughts, it's to stop being dragged around by them. It's about learning to accept reality as it is, even the difficult emotions, instead of constantly trying to run away from it.
And this is so important. You don't have to believe in anything to practice Vipassana. It's not a religion. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a gym for your mind, right? You lift weights to build your muscles, you practice Vipassana to strengthen your focus, your calm, and your self-awareness. It's just a workout for your mental well-being.
So, if it's a mental workout, how does it actually work? What are the mechanics behind this simple act of observation that lead to such powerful changes? Let's take a look under the hood.
It really boils down to these three core ideas. First, there's anicca, or impermanence. When you just sit and watch your inner world, you see for yourself that no feeling, no thought, no sensation actually lasts forever. That big wave of anxiety you feel, if you just watch it, you'll literally feel it build up, crest, and then fade away. And that's not a belief, it's something you experience directly. It frees you from the struggle. Second, and this is the real game changer, non-judgmental observation. Think about it. We often make things worse by judging our feelings. We feel angry, and then we feel guilty for being angry. We add a whole second layer of suffering. This practice cuts right through that. You just note, anger is here, without judging it. It's like watching the weather instead of getting caught in the storm. And that simple act of neutral observation, it just dissolves so much anxiety. And finally, that all leads to equanimity, developing a balanced mind that doesn't get totally carried away by pleasure or crushed by pain. You find a stable, calm center just by observing.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But does the science actually back it up? Is there any hard evidence that this practice really changes our brains? Well, the answer is a huge yes.
8 weeks. That's it. That's a time frame from a really important study. It doesn't take years and years to start seeing a real, measurable difference inside your own head.
I mean, this finding is just incredible. The amygdala is basically the brain's alarm system. When it's overactive, we feel stressed out and anxious all the time. This Harvard study showed that regular meditation can physically reduce its size. So you're not just imagining you feel calmer, you are literally rewiring your brain to be less reactive and more resilient. And those changes in the brain, they show up in your life in really practical ways. You start to notice you're not so stuck in those endless thought loops. When something happens that would normally make you snap, you find this tiny bit of space, like a pause button, before you react. And in that pause, you have a choice. You also start to understand why you feel the way you do. By watching your reactions without judging them, you start to see your own patterns. And that deeper self-awareness is what really puts you on the path to emotional freedom.
Look, theory and science are great, but the only way to really understand this is to experience it for yourself. So right now, wherever you are, I want to invite you to join me for a simple 5-minute practice. Let's just try it together.
All right, just get comfortable. You don't need a special cushion or anything. A chair is perfect. Let your hands rest easily in your lap. Sit with your back straight, but, not stiff and rigid. And if it feels okay for you, go ahead and gently close your eyes. Now just bring your attention to the feeling of your breath.
Maybe you notice it most at the tip of your nose, or you feel the rise and fall of your chest or your stomach. Don't try to breathe in any special way. Just let your body breathe all by itself. Your only job is to watch it happen.
And now, pretty soon your mind is going to wander off. It'll go to a thought, a memory, a plan. This is not a mistake. This is not a failure. It's just what minds do. The moment you realize your mind has wandered, that is the moment of mindfulness. So without any frustration, just gently note, oh, thinking, and guide your attention right back to the feeling of the breath. Every single time you do that, you're building that mental muscle. Now, let's gently widen our awareness from just the breath to the rest of the body. Just notice whatever sensations are there. Maybe you feel warmth in your hands or a tingling in your feet. And if you notice an ache or some discomfort, see if you can just observe it as a pure sensation, without labeling it as bad or feeling like you need to fix it. Just notice. This is it. This is how we learn to be with reality without constantly reacting. This is the practice.
Okay, then, whenever you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. That's it. That was the core of the practice. Now, the real challenge, but also the real reward, is finding a way to bring this simple awareness into our busy, often chaotic, daily lives. So how do we actually do that?
The key is to start small and just be consistent. Seriously, don't try to be a hero and meditate for an hour on your first day. 5 minutes a day is incredibly powerful. Once that feels pretty easy, then maybe you can move up to 10. Consistency is so much more important than how long you do it, especially when you're just starting to build the habit.
And for those days when even 5 minutes feels totally impossible, you can weave these little micro practices into your day. These aren't formal meditation sessions, they're just little moments of awareness. Feeling stressed before a meeting? Just take 3 deep, conscious breaths. Walking to your car? Just for a moment, feel the contact of your feet hitting the ground. This turns all that wasted, dead time into little moments of practice that help keep you grounded all day long. Ultimately, Vipassana isn't some magic trick. It's a journey of getting to know yourself one moment and one breath at a time. It's really about learning how to be present for whatever life throws at you. Every single breath you take is a fresh start. It's a new opportunity to come back to right now. The only question left is, will you take it?